Hey guys, I've got a quick question for you. Do you think you can write a piece of music using just a single note? And I don't mean one single note sounded, I mean essentially a root note, a pedal tone, one note sustained, one note repeated, only in using one note. So you could use it in different octaves, but it would just be one note. So for instance, this is in E, featuring just E. Now the reason I ask you this is because one of the biggest mistakes I see in aspiring composers, especially trailing music composers, is not structuring a cue properly and relying too much on chord progressions to bring most of the impact. And what that does is, they're often very good at their sort of builds into, and then all of a sudden you bring in a chord sequence which doesn't do anything. In fact, it slows the track down or it changes the mood completely. And that's why I ask the question, can you compose a track using just a single note? Because that, for me, was a huge pivotal moment in my career. Yeah. I can write a track using one note. I win. No, it was like in my expansion of my knowledge and practice, could I write a track using just a single note? I learnt to think outside of harmony and melody to create tension and release. And what that looks like for any musician is you are using rhythm, you're using textures, you're using timbres, you're using silence, you're using the other elements of the 7 basic elements of music, of sound. You're thinking outside the box. How can I create tension release with a single note? And it's an incredible exercise, because then you can take those tools of understanding the extra musical elements like timbre and texture and dynamics and tempo and rhythm and all those things, and you can apply them to your knowledge of theory and harmony. Now, a lot of composers I know are exceptionally knowledgeable about their theory and harmony, but they cannot apply that to the basic tension release model. And what I mean by that is the cinematic tension release. I don't just mean using risers and swish hits. I mean, can you make a single chord feel like it's growing in tension and then releasing? And I'm not talking the chord sequence where you're thinking about the cadences of the chords and the appropriate notes of the melodies you're using, whether you're using suspensions or passing notes or whatever notes you're using. Are you creating tension with the thing you're doing? And I'm not always talking horror and thriller. This is appropriate for all types of music, because you can write a very, very uplifting track that just uses one note. It doesn't need to be this huge exploration of harmony. It can be, and often that is a very, very useful tool. One single note leading into a beautiful progression, or the other way around, beautiful progression landing into one note where it feels like it's hammering home, the home. Okay, so it's a good exercise for you to go and try. You say to yourself, okay, I'm going to write a track just using a single note. Can I make it interesting? Can I make it tense? Can I make it feel like it's growing? Can I make it feel like it's building and developing? It's an incredible exercise because it focuses on the thing I'm always talking about, which is limitation helps your creativity grow. It excites the creativity. The boundaries, the limitations, encourage your creative thinking and encourage your problem solving. Sometimes when you sit down with an open door, open digital audio workstation, it can feel daunting because you've got all of these options. But if you go, well, I'm in D. Okay, let's just choose some sounds. Then all of a sudden you start thinking differently. You're thinking, okay, what textures do I want here? What timbres do I want here? What tempo do I want? All of a sudden you're thinking outside of the chord progression issue, because it is an issue, because we all get stuck in this idea, almost a fallacy, that we can create an original chord progression, which we can't. or if you did, it would be exceptionally long or sound unusual to our ears. So, when you sit down at your door, not that door, this door, that door, this door, this door, that door. When you sit down at your door, choose a single note and write a track. See how to do it. See if you can do it. Can you make it sound massive? Can you make it sound small? It's an exceptional exercise for your creativity.